And just for clarification for the board, that budget is determined based upon our student aid ratio. In each district, depending on what their aid ratio is, will determine their contribution.
If their numbers are right, this, the actual contribution in 2021-2022 was $50,318.87. Estimated contribution for 22-23 is $44,608.85. So it's down $5,710.02. The NEIU provides a lot of different programming for us that they've switched to sort of an a la carte system where we can pick and choose which services we need or can use, and that's helped reduce the cost. We can vote not to pay this, but they take it no matter what. It's the way this is set up through the state. We end up paying this bill whether we vote for it or not. That's where we stand on that. And we've tried to work on that over the years to get it more equitable, because I felt that we paid a disproportionate amount compared to some of the other districts, and it has gotten much better. It's more in line.
Okay, at this point, before we go to the vote meeting, I know some members of the board would like to discuss the current health and safety plan as it's written on a couple fronts. One is the masking of pre-K students under the age of 5, or any student under the age of 5. We currently do have them masked. The thought behind that was because those students do not have the opportunity yet to receive a vaccination, taking another safety measure into play, we thought we'd keep those students masked at this time until further notice or they are able to get their vaccinations. Does anybody like to discuss that procedure?
You want the mic, or you want to just speak loud?
I'd like to make it optional. People who are going to unmask the kids, automatically get the vaccine. People are going to keep the mask on while they get the kids vaccinated. That's my feeling. I don't think it's fair that kids are young.
From what I'm understanding also, there's some problem in the elementary school where
Speak up, please. We can't hear.
you can't believe you can't hear my mouth.
I didn't hear what Les said.
So I understand that it's causing some problem with pre-K and the kindergarten. It's like, and pre-K is seeing like, well, why can't I take my mask off? Everybody else has their mask off. So with Michael, I think it's kind of done.
Does anybody else have any input on the masking at this point? Because Dr. Barrett did get some information, some research on some of the neighboring districts as to the way they're handling this. So one of the templates here was for Wayne Highlands. If you could kind of walk us through what is a possible action. We're trying to decide which is the right way to proceed here.
Well, we're one of the few districts with an actual pre-K program that is ours and not one through Head Start. So the districts that are through Head Start or utilize Head Start funds, which we opted not to continue with last month. They're mask mandatory for pre-K. That's not an option for them. Okay. Since we did not, it's not mandatory for us at this point. Again, the recommendation was, especially from the medical field, was to at least have those students masked due to the lack of ability to be vaccinated. I understand the concerns from both parents and some of the board members here about it does seem like, you know, those kids are left on an island, which I completely understand. Again, it's a safety measure. Recommendation across the board for everybody is still to be masked. However, it does remain mask option. That's pretty much all I have on that front.
I think Head Start, if I understand it correctly, if we did not make anyone that came in contact with the students in the pre-K get vaccinated, they're going to withhold, I believe it's around $30,000, which is, it's a sizable amount of money, but we had already decided last month that was, we don't have the desire to mandate any vaccinations. So we're going to give up on that money because we don't, it's not our job to mandate vaccines.
Do you guys listen to some of the stuff that you spew out of your mouth sometimes? I'm sorry.
What's wrong with what I just said?
Well, you're okay with mandating masks for our students, but you're not okay with mandating vaccines now? Like,
Well, a
this
mask-
is obviously an agenda that you guys can push down to you. All the other districts are following us, so why are we looking at other districts to see what they're doing? They're doing the same thing you guys are.
No, there's widespread all over the place. If you look across the state, there's some districts that have actually had court orders mandating they return masks. There are some districts going the other direction. It's all over the place. And all the decisions we're trying to make are just to try to protect everybody. You, your children, and the community at large. It's not an easy decision because none of us woke up this morning saying, we wish we could make everybody put masks on.
So did you get an answer for me yet, Mr. Barrett, on the last time we talked?
Which was,
If you're going to lose funding if you didn't mask our children? You told me you didn't have an answer on that last time.
we're still in the same boat.
Yeah, and that's
Still
kind
saying,
of
oh,
all
you
over
have
the
an answer on
place.
that. So you signed a huge grant, you have no idea what's involved in it.
Everyone up the food chain from us, Department of Health, Department of Ed, CDC, NIH, everybody. If you look at it over the last 2 years, the guidance has been kind of all over the place. One day they say this, 2 weeks later they say that, and we try to disseminate that. Dr. Barrett and all of our admin does the best they can, trying to disseminate all the information, and we're, as always, try to make the best decision for everybody. And it's not always what everybody wants to hear, but we try to do our best, and that's all we can do.
The best decision is parents' choice.
It is. And we,
That was the best decision.
and I think maybe all of us don't disagree with that, but when they're in our care, we have an obligation to do what we can, so that's where we try it, and that's all. We're trying to do the best we can with the information we've got. We're having the conversation now as to how to proceed. Your input is appreciated. We're doing the best we can.
So if you guys are saying that it would have to be mandated because you need this grant, what if we choose not to vaccinate our children?
Right
Are you
now,
gonna make us
I don't
not
believe there's
take
any
our mask?
vaccination mandated. Like you just said, we don't have
Not
any
yet.
desire.
No, but they
It's
say
coming.
that, that's why I'm just asking. 'cause
Coming
Okay,
down
but that is not our decision or our control. That is,
Well, I'm just questioning, you said kids that are 5 years old and older, if they get the vaccine, what if they don't? They
That's-
go without a mask, but if we choose not to vaccinate our kids, whenever this mask,
sir, that's,
like,
again,
I'm really
as
confused.
Mr. Hope said, we're not the ones to mandate that students get vaccinated. If anything, that would either come from the state level government or the federal government.
And generally speaking, we don't pick and choose which rules we're going to follow. We generally try to follow things that are, and we have a lot of rules. The list of rules that these fine folks deal with on it is mind-blowing. They've got a ton of things, criteria that they've got to meet every day.
Yes, that's what brings me to my next point.
This is an additional thing that it makes their job also very difficult.
I understand, but you also have to understand, the kids are in pre-K kindergarten. They need to see lips. They need to see pronunciation. When I get stuff sent home saying, oh, like we work with our kid with alphabet, they need to be able to see teachers' mouths and understand
And I'm not sure if you've ever been in any of our buildings
I
during
have.
classes.
the class mouth.
But our young people have been stellar. They've been fantastic. From pre-K all the way up. They are very good. Very, very few of them have an issue with doing what they're asked to do. And it's really been great. They've been fantastic trying to support what we're trying to do. So we're going to, like I said, we're having that conversation. We're going to do our best to try. We like to see this. We've got a little COVID tiredness as well. You know, we're tired of it as well. We love to see it go, but we also keep in mind that health and safety for us is a huge component.
Can we get a vote on that tonight for the 4-year-olds? Is
We're
that
gonna,
possible?
we're gonna discuss that now and try to decide what to do. Go ahead.
I just have a question. Does a 5-year-old that doesn't need to wear a mask in pre-K have to be vaccinated?
No student has to be vaccinated.
So a 5-year-old sits next to a 4-year-old, neither vaccinated, the 4-year-old has to wear a mask, but the 5-year-old doesn't?
Right, and I think
No,
we need
The difference was that the 5-year-old had the opportunity
They
at
have
this
an
point.
opportunity, but they don't have to.
yeah, whether they take it or not, and that's kind of where we've been stuck a little bit with the 4-year-olds, because
So your
potentially-
decision is based on age?
potentially, according to the CDC, by the end of this month, vaccinations possibly will be available for 2 to 4-year-olds. That kind of changes,
Absolutely.
then it does make it a little, for us, I believe, a little easier because the parents then have that option, so it kind of takes it out of our hands as far as making that call, how to protect them. You know.
Can I speak on the mask?
Absolutely.
4-year-olds? My name is Bethany Stalick. I am the mother of a 4-year-old pre-K student at Evergreen. I'm a registered nurse with experience in adult critical care step-down and experience working with children. I wanted to address this concern because, first I want to say I don't want your job right now. I understand it's been incredibly stressful. I'm certain many of the decisions you're making are very politically and financially driven, and that makes it complicated when you rely on funding to provide an education.
Let me
I do
just stop you up
strongly
there for
believe-
just a second, because the finances and
Can we
politics
please
play,
not interrupt?
play very, very, very little.
And then we will have comments afterwards?
I'll run the meeting, please.
But I wanted to speak directly about the health plan that you guys are talking about now, and the fact that you are eliminating the 4-year-old's option to wear a mask. And you guys have already stated that there's both 4 and 5-year-olds in the class. So